My name is Katie Popperwell, and up until January, I was Senior International Producer at Unboxed Creativity in the UK. I led on international partnerships and engagement and working closely with our principal international partner, the British Council. This means I was responsible for designing a cross-cutting programme of partnerships, research, events, and digital content to support the promotion and delivery of this year-long festival, which took place from March to December in 2022. I led two inbound international delegations, the first of which included Song Hee Kim of Obscene Festival, who I'd like to thank for the invitation to speak to you today. I'd also like to thank the British Council Korea for hosting me as part of this event. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Unboxed Creativity in the UK, explaining some of the background, the aims, the structure, and the programme itself. So I'll carry on. Unboxed was designed to be a groundbreaking celebration of creativity that took place across the UK, reaching millions and bringing people together. It was produced by teams which were assembled across the STEAM acronym in a showcase of creative collaboration. The programme itself featured 10 major creative projects with hundreds of free events and experiences, activities, broadcast, in-person and online events. And it was designed to explore the importance of creativity and collaboration in generating new ideas and opportunities to shape our futures. This was a state-funded festival of creativity. It began with a £120 million investment from the UK government, which was announced in 2018, and it was set against two objectives. The first was to bring people together to celebrate our strengths, values and identities and to boost pride throughout communities. The second, which we called our international objective, was to celebrate the UK's offer to the world, supporting UK brand and helping attract new inward business and investment, and to leave a lasting legacy across the UK. So it was decided that in order to begin to meet those objectives, we would start with an open call. So this open call went out to the whole of the UK. It was open to anybody to apply. The call was not for ideas, it was for teams to assemble. And those teams had to assemble across the STEAM sectors that are science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths. They had to represent at least 3 of those sectors with a mandatory representation for the arts. They also had to demonstrate that they had experienced members of the team and less experienced emerging members of the team. And they had to demonstrate that they included members from less well represented backgrounds. Now you can see here the creative teams, so over 120 creative teams applied and 30 of those creative teams were selected. It was really important that we did it this way in order that we were creating opportunities for people that wouldn't normally take part in public funded arts projects. And we weren't just seeing the usual suspects getting the funding. So you can see here the makeup of some of those teams. We had 27 universities, 9 theatre companies, 32 scientists and research institutes, and over 100 freelancers, all of whom were employed in a paid research and development project during the COVID lockdown. Over an 8-week period, those 30 creative teams were given a brief. And that brief was to imagine and design a concept for a large-scale public engagement project that was open, original and optimistic, to exist in places and spaces across the UK, real, virtual or both, and that's seeking to meet and that sought to reach millions of people globally. It was really important that this was a team effort, and we created a R&D process which was structured and included inspirational content from creatives from across all sectors, and also the BBC R&D department contributed by creating some structured exercises for each of the teams to take part in order to help them develop their ideas. It's important to note that every single one of these 30 creative teams were fully funded to produce their ideas. The whole Creative Studio programme was delivered online, so it was accessible to everybody. It was important that we were investing in a model of creativity which was not about sole stars or sole genius or a lead artist. It was collaborative. And also really important that this investment represented the creativity that exists in science, in technology, engineering and maths, as well as in the arts. At the end of that research and development period, the R&D period, as we called it, the 30 teams had to pitch, and 10 of those were selected and went into full commissioning. And the result was our programme of 10 commissions. What is really extraordinary and was unprecedented about these commissions is the way that the introduction of technology facilitated an explosion of scale and ambition, pushing people to work together in new ways. The other important point is that each one of these projects was designed to work with communities outside of major metropolitan areas, in places in the UK that are less well served culturally. So I'm going to take you through the commissions now. The first one, which launched in March 2022, is called About Us. This was a cutting-edge projection mapping, animation, music, poetry and live performance show that celebrates our place in the universe and connections between us all. So the show combined multimedia installation, projection, live performance, and it was shown at night for free, projected onto landmarks of 5 town and city centres across England, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales. Over 250,000 people saw the About Us show live, and almost 1.5 million people viewed the film of the live show online. And the show and the lead producers, 59 Productions, are now developing aspects of this for international touring. Our Place in Space is our Northern Irish project. It's centred around a scale model of the solar system designed by the artist Oliver Jeffers with the astrophysicist Professor Stephen Smart and a creative team led by Northern Irish producers Nerve Centre. It's inspired by the overview effect. So the idea that when you view the Earth from space, then human divisions and conflict make very little sense. As well as the 3-dimensional sculpture trail, there is an interactive AR app and an exceptionally well-designed learning and events programme. The project saw over 60,000 people view the solar system in one location, and we had collaborations with British Council in Vietnam and South Africa, working with school children there to develop their own responses to the project. Tour de Moon was a cosmic journey into tomorrow. The idea was that young people, nightlife artists, musicians, digital content producers aged 18 to 25 collaborated with the moon. So the project awarded hundreds of bursaries to young creatives, enabling them to create new and experimental work and share it with audiences. It was supported by the British Council to work with observatories in Ghana, where it's currently on display. Dandelion was our Scottish commission, an ambitious creative programme demonstrating the power of collective action through a major Grow Your Own Food initiative combining growing, science, art and music. There was the Dandelion Music Festival in Scotland, and through the British Council we supported Dandelion to do a series of international music commissions. They're also very active in the thought leadership space around sustainability, agriculture and self-sufficiency. Green Space Dark Skies invited thousands of people from all paths of life to make a journey into the landscape together. So by experiencing wild and beautiful places across England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland as dusk falls. The lights that you can see there are specially designed for the project by young engineers from Siemens, in order to create lighting spectacles across the landscape through these mass gatherings. The project explores our responsibility to protect nature and everyone's right to enjoy and explore the countryside. Pollinations was a spectacular city centre forest garden of magical proportions. It was an immersive forest in the heart of Birmingham to celebrate colour, beauty and natural diversity. The Urban Oasis hosted free events, workshops and performances, including live music, dance and spoken word. The project was also part of a collaboration with the British Council's UK-Pakistan season, and costumes were designed by through that collaboration, and free performances were hosted all around the UK. Sea Monster was our most technologically ambitious project. It was a really extraordinary act of collective creativity across science, technology, engineering and the arts. A retired North Sea platform was transformed into the UK's largest public art installation to inspire global conversations about a sustainable future. It was installed in the seaside town of Weston-super-Mare, and it was completely free to all to attend. Dream Machine is an artwork you experience with your eyes closed. It was a collaboration between architects, scientists and artists based on an invention by one of the beat artists called Brian Dyson, who found that when you project white light onto closed eyes, you create a world of hallucinations which are completely unique to the individual. Behind this project lies a body of research called the Perception Census into issues of neurodivergence in perception. It had 5-star reviews all around the UK, where it opened and is currently touring internationally. Story Trails was the most extensive people's history project ever undertaken, using AR and VR to tell untold stories that shape where we live and who we are. It uncovered hidden histories in 15 UK towns and cities using state-of-the-art augmented and virtual reality technology. And finally, Galwad, A Story from Our Future, was our project which took place in Wales. And this was a multi-platform, multilingual story set in a possible future world of 2052 that brought together Welsh talent in film, TV, creative technology and live performance. It was broadcast online, on TV and on location, and was seen by over 29,000 people and had over 500 live participants. As well as the creative programme, we had a number of cross-cutting engagement programmes. The first was a learning programme, a UK-wide learning programme designed for teachers and educators in a variety of settings. This included hundreds of lesson plans, workshops, school trips, and digital and other learning resources inspired by the 10 projects. It was designed for young people aged 4 to 19 in schools and other learning settings, and it was mapped across the 4 curriculum of the UK. And our international programme, which included international partnerships within the commission teams themselves, international touring opportunities for the teams to take their projects overseas following the end of the programme, as well as international partnerships such as those I described for pollinations and a number of the other commissions. We took conversations around the commissions to a number of festivals and forums, and also took part in a number of cultural diplomacy opportunities. We worked with the organisation in the UK, the Royal Society of the Arts, the RSA, to run a research inquiry into the idea of collective futures. As you can see from the commissions, They are all focused on the idea of a more positive future and how we can use creative collaboration to get there. We created a suite of digital content around the idea of the role of young people in creating more positive futures and the role of culture and creativity in global sustainable development. We also created a number of knowledge sharing opportunities, both nationally and internationally, and all the resources, toolkits, and assets that we produced have been stored online as part of the UK's National Archives. I'm going to end there because I'm aware of the fact that I'm 5 minutes over. But hopefully you can see a bit about the impact here, which is the learning and participation programme, the employment and training opportunities, the great partnerships that we created, and that inspiration for young people in working across the STEAM sectors. Thank you.